This is, I haven't read the title on this. This is called Time is Apparently Ticking. Rosie woke up with a gasp, surfacing, her eyes open. She was in the grip of a panic that only her subconscious understood. She wondered what the fuck she'd done now, what the hell she should worry about now. She checked her ceiling, as it was currently convenient, and everything looked normal. She moved her toes, wiggled her fingers, and nothing seemed to hurt, so she hadn't fallen down, fallen over, or fallen for. She turned her head slowly and let out a held breath. The other side was empty. The morning light tinted the white curtains yellow, and nothing smelled weird, which was unusual. It was quiet, and there was no sign of trouble, yet still the pit of her stomach had something to say about the calm. That's when she heard it, faint, but now obvious, the ticking of a clock. She sat up and flicked the balls of mascara from the corner of her eyes and tilted her head in that way of listening. There was no clock in her bedroom that she'd sanctioned, no time except silent and digital. Nothing to tick, but there was definitely something ticking. She put an absconding tit back into her top and swung her legs over the side, wondering if this was a time it was the sound of an inoperable brain tumour manifesting itself as a tick-tock in her head, the sound of a depressing fairy tale to aspire to. She covered her ears, and it faded for a moment. It was outside her brain, it seemed, so that was something. She considered high-fiving herself, but wasn't ready to descend to those depths this early. She edged off the bed, taking a swig from the glass on the floor, then slowly dribbling the warm gin and tonic back into the glass as she listened to the clock that kept ticking, tick-tock. Getting down on her hands and knees, she looked under the bed, thinking there could be an abandoned clock under there that suddenly woken up, like that Furby she'd found in the box in the attic, turning it on and it wouldn't stop screaming until her dad had to put it out of its misery with a hammer. Some kind of metaphor, she was sure. Tick-tock. It kept going, drilling into her mind until her thoughts slapped to its rhythm. On her hands and knees, looking at plastic boxes of childhood memories from a child she felt she should apologise to, she couldn't discern the ticking's direction. She sat down in a corner, listening to the rhythm, to the escaping seconds, and wondered what the fuck it could be. Was it her womb? She gave her stomach a pat in the general direction she thought her womb was, possible, but more likely a withering crinkle than the tick-tock of expiration. Time was escaping. She should probably have a shower, wash it all away, but she sat there, her knees drawn to her chest, and wondered. Was it her beauty, in a certain light, her visibility, her relevance? Is it the amount of time her vagina smells acceptable for, between flannels? Is it the length of time her patience will last, already too long? Is it the time since she's worn her knickers inside out, since she last sobbed for no reason, since she screamed into a pillow, since she laughed uncontrollably and worried about herself? God, was it the countdown to the last orgasm she'll have? She eyed her vibrator and couldn't be bothered to summon the moisture. The countdown till she'll stop caring what people think, perhaps, though that seemed unlikely. Till she'll stop turning her head every now and then. Till she'll stop strutting when she feels good and crawling when she feels down. Maybe it's a time until she becomes an adult and her period isn't a stained underwear surprise every bloody month. When she buys a bra that will fit both her breasts in, no nipple left behind. When she'll stand up straighter and achieve everything she's supposed to, while still looking sexy, warm, available, professional, capable, brilliant, strong, dependable, independent, but fun. Ultimately fun. When she'll finally become that woman. Or, more likely, when she admits there's no way there for her, when she'll give up and braid her leg hair into her pubes and let her moustache grow. When she'll stop fantasising about being in a scene of a shitty rom-com, someone getting distracted by her legs but impressed by her intellect, while in great shoes and Hollywood lipstick. When she'll forget all this nonsense and actually concentrate on being a real person, sick, tired, sick and tired, difficult, stupid, ugly, and beautiful, and completely ridiculous. Someone just trying to get out of bed every morning without that fucking clock ticking at her. Perhaps. Tick-tock. She wiped a hand over her face, drawing the flesh of her features down. Fuck, she thought, all a bit much for a Tuesday. Her eyes closed, she listened, and opening them, looked to her left. On the floor, next to a jumble of hard-knock shoes, was a small, plastic alarm clock. Thank God, she thought, snatching it up and tapping the batteries out the back. The ticking stopped. Her mind no longer throbbed. She stood up, peeled off the rolled-up cigarette stuck to her thigh, and went to open the cupboard under the stairs. She set the clock amongst the rows of others, found on similar mornings, ticking spanners thrown in her works, and shut the door. She pulled her underwear out of its far-up wedge, pulled herself together, and once again thought she'd better just get on with it.